Check, check, check. Hey, Aaron Axelson, Live 105, Dom, the band Muse.
Hey, how you doing?
We're talking about a project called, was it Vicky Cryer, correct?
That's right, yeah.
And it's a new project. I don't know how to do this shit. It's a new project that Dom is doing. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's just, well, a buddy of mine, Jason Hill, who's in Louis, who was and kind of is in Louis XIV. They're still going, just about. That he's been writing a bunch of music, and he's just a good buddy of mine that I've known for a couple of years now. And he was, been showing me stuff and asking me to play on a few things and just get involved. So he was getting his tracks together. He had like 8 tracks together or something, and he really wanted to put a band together to do a live show. So he's just been asking his mates. So he asked me to do it, and I was like, drunk one night out with him, and I was like, yeah, no problem, yeah, I'll play the drums. And then a few weeks later he's like, oh, remember what you said that night.
So it's you, and is it Mark from the Killers is also in the project?
Yeah, so Mark from the Killers, guy called Jeff Kite, who's on the keys. He plays with Julian Casablancas, and also Alex Karapetis, who plays with Julian Casablancas, playing the drums with Julian. So we've got 2 drummers in the band. So we've done one show in LA in the Spaceland, and we had the drums like kind of facing each other, almost like creating this kind of diamond shape on stage, and me and Alex are having tons of fun back there playing together. It's cool. So
are you gonna have time between getting ready to record the next Muse record to commit a little bit to this new project, to go out and tour, maybe do an album? What are sort of the plans, or is it kind of you were just drunk and now you gotta live up to it?
I know, no, yeah. I've roped myself into it. No, we're just going to see. I mean, it's fun. It's definitely weird for me to go and do something outside of Muse, because I'm institutionalised in this band, and I've only ever played with these guys, and obviously that's an amazing thing. And yeah, we're about to start recording the new Muse album pretty soon in like October. So yeah, trying to find time to do some more stuff for this is going to be hard, because Mark's doing the same thing with the Killers. He's in recording, and I think Julian's going to start doing some work, Casablancas, with his band, so those guys are going to go. So it's going to be very tough, and Jason's sitting there going, come on, let's bloody do it.
Jason has all this time on his hand. He's the one like, hey, let's get together. I know we just had Ronnie from the Killers. He has a side project called Big Talk, and they just played Pop Scene a couple weeks ago. They're really good.
Nice. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Ronnie's a good friend as well, and I've heard his album. It's really cool. Yeah, I just missed him in LA, but yeah, we'd like to come up and play Pop Scene, with Vicky Cryer. We're just trying to figure it out. I think, there's still like 30% of the album that needs to be finished. And I was just actually around Jason's house last night, just fiddling around with some tracks that me and Alex actually recorded some drums together for one of the songs, just as a bit of an experiment to see how that works, and it was really cool. So me and him were sifting through that last night and picking out the best bits and trying to figure out what's going on. But we'd like, we'll figure out some gigs soon. I mean, hopefully we'll do something this year, maybe 1 or 2 this year, and I think the plan is for guys to like release the album next year.
So Muse is playing today. You guys are headlining day 2 of the Outside Lands Festival in San Francisco. And we have a lot of history in San Francisco. You guys played your first ever show at my club at Pop Scene. Live 105 was playing the Muscle Museum EP back in on Mushroom Records back in the day. How does it feel? I mean, I know you have a lot of history in San Francisco, but I mean, tell us a little bit about your history here and your ties to the Bay Area.
Just love it here. It's amazing that you were like on board at such an early stage, like playing the Muscle Museum EP, because that was like, I mean, we were kids, and that was over 12 years ago or something crazy like that.
It was 1999 was your first show in San Francisco. Right. I remember that show because I remember you guys just signed a deal with Maverick Records. Yeah. I remember Chino from the Deftones was in the crowd.
Yeah, that's one of my first memories of coming to San Francisco, is playing that club, and there was probably only about 30 people there, but Chino was one of them, and he was like, just doing some strange, weird moshing with a lot of space around him.
There was maybe 200 people there, but I think 10,000 claimed to be at the at that show.
Yeah, it's one of those, but it was fun. But yeah, it was our first time here, and I think straight away coming to San Francisco, we loved it, because out of all the cities in America, it feels the most European to me, because of just how diverse it is in culture, and just the trams like whipping around the town. That's a very kind of Swiss French thing.
I would even say a little bit that the Outside Lands Festival kind of emulates a little bit like a Reading or a Glastonbury. What do you think?
I've just arrived, but it feels like that because it's like in this lovely park, but I've never been here before. And it seems great, and it's much bigger than I thought it was. It's like 60,000 people.
Yeah, 60,000 people today, sold out.
Wow.
And a lot of British bands made the trek out here. Ellie Goulding, The Vaccines,
right.
Arctic Monkeys. Any other new British bands that Dom is excited about over in the UK? We should keep an eye out for.
Vaccine. I really like the Vaccines. Actually, yeah, they've been doing really well. So you probably know way more than I do about new British bands.
What's it? So you
be telling me.
What? So you guys been in the States? You guys did Lollapalooza, and you also did LA Rising. Tell us a little bit about that experience playing with Rage Against the Machine. The funny thing is, when I first met you guys, I vividly remember you telling me how much of a Rage Against the Machine fan you were, and this is like 12 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, always have been. I mean, Rage Against the Machine is like the one band that we probably all communally love and agree on, that it's one of our favourite bands of all time and been so influential musically to us. And it was insane. Over the years, it's been a very surreal thing that we've got to kind of meet some of our heroes, I guess, when we were growing up as kids and musicians, and they actually like us enough to ask us to play with them. So when Rage asked us, we've met Tom Rello like once or twice. We actually met the whole of the band last year at the Rock and Ring Festival in Germany, and it was just, we got a picture taken, like some proper fans, and we're like, hey, look at this, and put it on Twitter. And it's amazing because they're all so sweet, and they knew our band, and we're like, holy shit, it's crazy. So they asked us to play, and we're like, of course, we could never say no to that, because it's an honour, really. But the whole experience was great. It was in the Coliseum, and it was like 60,000 people, and it was like a proper stadium show, and we had a great gig. We hadn't actually played for about 2 months, so it was really fun to get back on stage and play.
You know, there's been a lot of hoopla made about the Lollapalooza performance, Muse up against Coldplay. I hear it was one of your best sets ever. I mean, people have been telling me that. I'm bummed I missed it. I mean, what do you make of all that? I mean, you're just doing your thing. You don't want to give a shit who you're up against, but what, you know?
No, of course not. I mean, I don't care. I saw some of their fireworks going off actually as we started. We both went on around the same time. And I saw a few lasers, and I was like playing the drums, thinking, "What are you guys doing over there?"
They were trying to. Chris Martin and his crew were trying to outdo you guys, I guess.
I guess it's kind of strange. There was definitely a bit of talk of like, it's a bit strange that two like English bands are playing at the same time, but you know, I heard their set was great. We had a good time. So,
last question before you get ready for your set today. Tell us a little bit about how the new Muse album's coming along, if you can.
Early days, to be honest. Early days at this stage. We're basically. Because we don't really work on new music when we're on the road so much, you know, at all, really. We stopped doing that a while ago because everything we did never made the album. So we're like, let's not do that again. But we're going to basically start working and getting some ideas together and working together in, like, end of September, October. But as far as where we're going to go, it's always, I don't know yet, I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's always like a long experimental process that doesn't really have any solid direction when we first start out.
You know what's crazy about Revelations? It still feels like a fresh record. I mean, we're still playing Uprising and Undisclosed and Resistance are still like, right. You know, so that record it's a very deep album, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that was fun to make because we did it by ourselves as well. We produced it by ourselves in our own studio, which was a great thing. It was a very challenging thing to do. But I think this time we'll work with a producer just again to make sure it feels a bit different from the last one. But yeah, musically, I don't know. We'll have to see. We kind of get in a room and kind of flesh it all out and see what kind of influences people are bringing into the band, really. But you know, it'll be good. Well, I like a lot of the remixes too. You know, there was something. You know, Tiesto did a mix, and I know Thin White Duke did a good mix. Yeah. So there was a lot of good remixes off that record. So, well, thanks again for chatting with us, Dom from Muse, and excited to see Vicky Cryer. Definitely, yeah. I think this is when we actually organise a couple more gigs. I think Pop Scene will definitely be the place where we'll play in San Fran. So
that's the correct answer. So
cool.
All right, Dom. Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers.
Thank you.
See you.